Okay, I think we're live. Today is a bit experimental. I'm using different mic, and I'm also okay. So let me. It's probably easier to show than to explain. Do I have it somewhere? So it's like OBS multiple streams plugin, and it's like in Chinese or Japanese, I don't know. And yeah, so what's that? Maybe Japanese. So they released a new version. I guess it's not that new, but I didn't know that it was out. But it basically like they say that it should work on M1 Max. So I was willing, or not willing, but like I wanted to try it for a long time, and it wasn't as scary as as I thought. So now I'm streaming at the same time at like Twitch and Twitter. I will see. I was actually like going to stream on like LinkedIn, because I heard that it's in demand there. But they have like this whole thing on how they let people in, so I kind of like didn't want to figure out how it works. Yeah, so I'm using Restream, which I think is free. So that was the idea. But and actually, like the delays are not that bad, but I expect YouTube probably works better. So maybe you have some viewers, they will let me know. But anyway, so our plan for today, I actually tried to do this before, and I think, yeah, I don't remember in which stream, but I think I just started at some point, and today we'll do it properly. So the idea is that when I started to look into like Next.js, I wanted to have basically like a project that I can test it with, and kind of like at the same time, I wanted to translate this article from English to Russian, and I figured that's probably like a kind of like a project that I could have to figure out kind of like a real blog with real like article. Yeah, so I don't remember where I got all the styles and stuff. So let's see if we can figure it out. So what I try to do is I try to basically go through the source code and try to kind of like change everything in place. But I think today I'm going to try kind of like writing it from the scratch and just like adding feature per feature instead of kind of like instead of trying to change it in place. That project is also where I tested Yarn like 2 or whatever it's called, like battery. Yeah, they're about to launch version 1, but I think it's like 1 month late or something. So we'll see. So they have this kind of like all the templates, And I know that we will need tailwind, so maybe that's the thing that we should start with. I don't know why they have Markdown as a separate thing, because it has like a built-in Markdown support. So that's a mystery for me. Okay, so where should it start? So I'm going to start with just creating new, I guess, let's call it Gelarchy block. And I wonder if this will turn out to be some kind of like Astro tutorial. I'm not entirely sure what I wanna have out of this. I mean, I know that I wanna have blog written in Astro, but how do I package it in a in an entertaining and thought out hopefully video? Okay, so there is a lot, but we don't need all of this to start. So let's figure out how we're going to do it. Oh yeah, there is also this thing that someone recommended me. It's called NI, which I hope that's the right one. Yeah. So basically, um, I wanted to I wanted to try out pnpm for a long time, but it's so hard to type pnpm. So I think like 2 or 3 times I just like, okay, it's too hard to type, I'm not going to use it. And someone recommended me just use this package, and so I guess we will still start with npm init, but I wonder if we can do it this way. Okay, so I want to try pnpm, and what did it do? Okay, it did something. Okay, dependencies. Oh yeah, so it installed it. I mean, okay, so let's try again. I still don't know. There is like an NR and yeah, NA, that one. So NA init. Okay, so package name. I think I want to do the same. Oh, my app, not not creative. So let's not do it the same. I mean, Gelarchy block sounds good. Okay, let's keep it for now. Version. I'm a fan of 001 as a version. Description. Did I have anything before? No, just my block. Entry point. That I don't know. Git repository. That I do know. That's going to be. So is it expecting Git link or it like HTTP link? So this is going to be this one, or maybe Gelarchy block. Okay, I'll have to figure this out later. Yeah, I created it while they still had like site URLs. Now it's redirecting to Vercel. Okay, let's skip this one for now. Other Gelarchy license. I think I like MAT, but I think AGPL is also cool, but I want people to look at it. So okay, so that one is okay. So that's going to be fine for now. So yeah, so it's complaining git init git add. I guess pnpm init, but who cares? So we also need to ignore, which is probably helpful to get the one that they have here. So that I don't have to think about it. Okay. So pnpm init plus get, okay. So now, where would I start? I would start with an I, so like pnpm install astro. I guess it, oh yeah, because it doesn't have a package lock yet. Once it has the package lock, it knows which command to use. Okay, so dependencies, astro. Is it a dev dependency? I never know this, how this work. Yeah, that's a dev dependency. How do I oops how do I save it to dev -d? Okay, so let's remove this one. Oh no, it's n I remove. Yeah, so I guess remove astro as well, but add it. Oh no, what happened? Add it -d. Okay, so did it work? Doesn't look like it. Dev depends. Okay, I guess it happened. Oh no. So oh no, remove. Okay, so let's remove. None. Okay. Uninstall, I guess. That's how we do it. Okay, so it's a dev dependency. Now let's figure out what else we need. Prefix, canvas, what's it? Okay, we need some of it, but not all of it. Not all of it. Okay, so we need this scripts, and so now if you do another dev, it starts and not found. Okay, so that's not bad. That's going to be our kind of like first astro commit, and we can start it. So now let's figure out what else do we need. Oh, yeah, by the way, I think I forgot private. Yep. My autocomplete, by the way, is using GitLab Copilot, GitHub Copilot. So it's trying to give me some helpful tips, I guess. I can fix up because okay, I don't know how to do this. So let me just mark it as private. Okay, that's fine for now. So let's figure it out. So I should probably open it in like just a separate window, just in case if I need to. Okay, so this one has a lot of stuff. We won't need all of it, but we will need some of it. Oh yeah, by the way, prettier. I love prettier, so we should start with that. So I think they have like a new way to do this, but let's keep it for now. And we need prettier ignore. Okay, maybe we don't need it yet. A prettier C. Yeah, prettier. And so now we should be able to run your format, but we need to install prettier. Great. So let's call it. Oh yes. Okay, so we need to non-prettier and ni minus d. So it goes to the. I don't know if that's important, but let's keep it. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I called it yarn. That's because it's like a muscle memory to have it like that. Okay. Now, what do we do now? All of this seems to be like Next stuff. Yeah, tailwind is going to be new tailwind, so probably like some of the styles are not going to be the same, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so they don't have like a separate TypeScript template. That I kind of like expected that, but it's interesting. Okay. Let's see init. Yeah, this is something that I want to try. I haven't initiated TypeScript in such a long time. So what we want to do is to a minus d again, I guess. Let's install TypeScript and let's do lr.tsc init, unknown option init. Yeah, so I'm used to how yarn works. I will need to figure out how nr works. Okay, so it's latest target module command.js. I have no idea if that's good or not. Cumulative checks, force consistent, cascading. Yeah, so I think the I think now they have like a new option for like nullable strict null checks. I think that one is like not part of the strict. So where's our TypeScript? Oh wow, such much. So what do they have? Strict. What do they have on strict? Maybe all. Okay. I'm not going to look into what is happening here. Comments like, you guys have too many options for like real humans to to try to check it. Okay, so that's going to be TypeScript. Okay, so what else? What do we care about? Oh yeah, they have it here. The target module. Oh yeah, that's cool. Target. Okay, so let's figure out what different options. So target is understandable, module is understandable. ES interrupt. Maybe you only need this for CommonJS. So for consistent, I guess that one is good. And strict is good. And skiplet check. Okay. I'll just add it to the previous one. Okay, so now we have all of that. Where do we start? Do we do tailwind already? Okay, let's start. Let's start with trying to trying to get some of the files running. So in Astro we have like pages. Okay, so I guess contacts is probably like the easiest one to start. so it's nrdef rndef. Okay, that's going to be hard. Going to mess this up all the time. Okay, so and in Astro everything is created in like source pages. Let me do this so I can see the curves better. Okay, so now we want to create folder source. Inside it, we want to create for the folder pages, and inside of it, we want to have this page. called contacts. So touch pages dot astro. Contacts. Okay, so empty page. And again, I'm going to show this bug all the time. If you write this as a plain text, it shows it twice. I don't know what it means, but it works like that. So so usually then you would have like some kind of like layout component, and here that was like layout home. Head was from Next, so that's their way to kind of like work with parts of the document that are like not not really like the, how do I say it? It's the stuff that probably doesn't make too much sense. It's like it's probably only like kind of like a concern on the single page apps, the ones that I don't know. I'm going to re-implement this part right away, but it's funny part. Okay, so now we wanna have, I guess let's get everything that's inside layout and just plump it here. So first things first, it's class, not class name anymore. Now it's complaining that we don't have like few values. So site title gets that's cool. So in my case, it's where does it get it? Okay, it's layout. We should probably just create it. So inside sources, we want to have components. Inside components, we want to have layout tsx. It's not exactly the same that it's going to be in Astro, but let's keep it like that for now. And in here, I think you can import something like components layout. I don't know if you need like a special option for that, but okay. If it doesn't work like that, then it doesn't work like that. Okay, so site title is done. Okay, style. That's interesting. And last modified. So last modified there was get file last modified. Okay, so that's going to be an adventure, right? How is it used? Date string. What do we do with date string? It parses it as ISO. Interesting. Do we really need it? I guess to make it in this format. Okay. So this is also like a component that we need. So inside components, let's create a file that is called date.tsx. Right. So it's not tsx anymore, because you're going to use Astro. It's only like server-side stuff. Okay, but we also are missing date fee ns. I think that's just a replacement for like moment.js. I never never used it, I think, except for this. Maybe I used it somewhere. But okay, so it says like, what is the meaning of JSX here? No. It's not a JSX, don't worry. Oh, press something wrong. So it's Astro. And to define Astro component, we need this, and I think like props. Yeah, the props in Astro are written really strangely. So Astro props, what's happening? TypeScript props. Yeah. So all of that is for props. So in our case, we need this. Okay, so this is a type, and this is for just structuring, and this is like any, so it has to be as props, or like comma props, column props. What did it say? This string is missing. Record. Okay, so I guess as was the right way. Okay, so now we don't need all of that. This one is moving here, and we don't need return. It's just that. So I don't know if it's good or not. I add this. This is probably like yeah, TypeScript. Oh, not TypeScript, but like React thing. I like having it in JavaScript edition. Okay, so this is our date, or date or data. I don't know. So similarly, we do date. Okay, so it's I think it's like that. It's just like default export. What's happening? Cannot find declarations. So it's components. Am I missing something? Layout. Astro. Okay. Let's go here. Oh yeah, maybe it needs to be, because I see it, it's capital letter, and I don't know if that's important or not. Components date. What is happening? Oh yeah, dot astro. Okay, I think I was going crazy. Okay, so now we're still missing head and last modified. So let me just write it head like that, and last modified should be just some string. I don't know what's the format should be, but expression flex explicitly. Okay, I don't know what's happening there. It's been returning 500 for now. Okay, so maybe it should be just this. I don't remember yet. I mean, I don't know yet. Okay, so now it's unable to resolve layout, right? Or was it astro react, astro config layout? Okay, so it tries to compile layout because it's called tsx. Right, it should be astro as well. Should it be the capital again? So layout astro. Okay, will that work? Hey, okay. Okay, so January 2020. Did that part worked, I guess? Oh yeah, style. Um, so the easy way to explain it is that style as an object is the React thing. So if you just do it as style, I was checking one thing, but don't worry. So if you just turn it into string, that should work. The only problem that this one should be like that. Okay, so what we are missing now is I mean, we have a lot missing. So let's start here. We're missing favicon, which maybe we should just get this one. Put image in new tab. Okay. So if I store it as favicon, and now I should create public folder that is going to be like our static file storage. Okay, so now, okay, so now we have favicon, and what do we need next? Has some styles, but not a lot. Do I fix last modified stuff? Because it's pretty interesting in terms of like how this is a different framework and how differently it works. So in Next, you put all of your server code into like this get static probes, get server side probes, get whatever the other like modes they have, and then you're struggling a bit because you need to like pass these props here and here and make sure that it's the same stuff and all of that thing. But you can call server side stuff, and this last modified value, it will be just like created for you, and you can use it inside your like React and like browser client code and all of that stuff. So in Astro, that's what you do in like your front matter. You just, if you need to run something on the server or like statically on like in the build step, just put it in the front matter. So what we want to have here, can I do a wait? That's interesting because this function is asynchronous, right? I can. Okay. So I just do this and accepted file name is should be, okay. So it should be like a context.astro. Okay, so now it's going to say, hey, I don't know what this function is. And that's where we need to create it. No, it should be a new folder, utils or lib, and then it's going to be kind of like this stuff. So files.ts. If I just copy that, it's complaining about node. Does that mean we have node imported somewhere? Next. Mark. Do we have node types installed? Yeah, that's probably something that we need. So nr ni minus d node types. Okay. Do you know what that is now? Okay, so let's just assume it works for now. So import this from files. Okay, no such file directory. Okay, we need to debug this a bit. It's all so log, and we need to actually like process CVD. That's probably what we are missing right now. So it's inside blog. So inside blog, we need to go to src pages syntax astro. So just this file path should be different. So src pages. Okay. Still pages. Where did it? Oh. Okay, I guess that's what I meant. And I was writing it. Okay, so June, like it's today. So sounds great. Maybe you need to restart TypeScript server for the types to kick in. It didn't do it. Yeah, it was able to install it. I don't know what's the big idea is, but anyway. So as you can see, it's not that different, but I don't have to pass any props between like imaginary server and imaginary client. It's just this code is called on server so that this value is set. And we can probably look into like how it actually like works over the wire. So it still has to have this value like passed, and I guess it just replaced it in place. So we don't have the, oh yeah, I see. So because our date component is astro component, it just turned it into string, so that last modified value, it just like went here as a string, went here, like this whole thing was replaced by a string, and that's it. I think there's like a rogue space that was added. Yeah, so this space is that's not cool. Oh no. I don't know how to fix it. Yeah, that seems problematic. I don't know who is doing this, but I don't know how to make it better. Okay. So that was that. So maybe I can just commit all of that. Should I split it? Okay, it's fine for now. So contacts page with file icon and no layout. So that's good. Should we add more pages or should we work on the other stuff? But this one is showing like list of posts, so that's kind of like its own problem. And how much time do we have? Okay, well, almost at an hour. Okay, so 45 minutes. Okay, so what do I do next? Should I do Google tracking? I wonder if there is just like a, so on Astro, we have like integrations and yeah, analytics. So head, party down, Hotjar, analytics, Google. Astro-head. I didn't see how that's analytics, but okay, so this is closer to how Next.js works. So SEO tags, analytics inside your page and this. Okay, so what kind of magic are we talking about? Oh, we would have to create all of that. Analytics, Google Analytics, astro-analytics. Interesting. Okay, so they have like built-in analytics. So I wonder if Next.js now has Google Analytics integration, because when I was doing that, that was like stupid, and it is still stupid. Okay, okay, it is pretty stupid. Prefer component when using inline. Okay. Okay, so it's still not built in, but at least they have like an explanation how to use it. And how do we use it? So component production. Yeah, so we're just using old styled like script tag instead of the new script tag. Other than that, it's analytics.js and such data layer. Yeah. So I was looking at Astro sitemap, basically like Astro sitemap. Google didn't want to index some of our pages, And I was like, okay, we need to figure out the sitemap situation. And like the whole plugin is just this is types, and this is the plugin. So like store config. Okay, so like once you build everything, collect URLs, put it in this like XML format. Do they escape URLs? I guess it has to be escaped by the fact that it's a file name. But yeah, I wonder if there's some problem here, or that URL is probably escaped somehow. Pages. Yeah, anyway, so this is like the whole plugin, and it's how to say it? It's as complicated as you want it to be, and it's like, yeah, I would expect this feature to be kind of like this simple, but I imagine that if you want to look at next sitemap, it's probably some like completely unusable stuff. So config push next config. Okay, so it has more configuration options, but how does it work? That's basically the thing that I'm interested in. Okay, so it's already like 10 files. CLI. Why do you need CLI? Builders. Sitemap builder. Okay, so XML. Who is calling this function? What is happening here? Turn to refs. Okay, if I search it, will I find it? Okay, so sitemap is calling builder. Get server side something. Okay, who's calling that? Samples. Samples. So what file is that? Pages. Okay, so for this XML file to show up as URL, should I put everything one by one? Okay, so that's where I give up. And it's like, it's too complicated. That one's probably like too simple, but that one is too complicated. And this is also complicated. So let's look at the astro-analytics. It's Google Analytics, computer available. Okay, is it that big or what? Okay, so it's just a script tag, and just a kind of like, how would you expect it to work, right? Okay, how will I keep track of what is happening? Page path. Okay, so app is there to call page view. Because we don't have single page mode in the okay, I forgot to check one thing, and now I don't know where to look for it. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So, what have we learned here? Astro-head is cool, but we might not need it right away. So let's start with something kind of like simpler. Okay. So this file stuff, we did all of that. So page view tracking, we don't need it because it's a multi-page app. So this posts, is that something that we still need to do? Get post data and hello, that's not needed. I think so. Let's just think that we don't need it. So we still need this. We don't need this stuff. I mean, we still need tailwind, but it's another thing. Okay, so here we have like a full page template, and it's using a lot of like HTML, head, main, script, and all of that stuff. We not completely not needed, but we need it in some other way. So let's look at our example. How do they do it there? Okay, so that's the stuff that they use. So we need to have something similar, and that's going to be our layout. So HTML root of the oh yeah, we need to split it this way. So why does it format it this way? Is it prettier or what is happening? Oh yeah, we don't do prettier because it's will it do prettier? No, it doesn't know how to. Well, that's unfortunate. What formatter is it using then? Just astro mode. So yeah, I'm not a fan of how it formats the code. I don't remember seeing this in the other project, so let's Okay, I don't want to fix it right now, but okay, so for this layout, we would need some kind of props, I guess. How do we do it here? How do we, oh yeah, we are using kind of like context or whatever the React stuff is having. It's a bit simpler here. Okay, and we also need Google Analytics stuff. Yeah, production. Wonder how it's going to work in our case. It doesn't seem like they're checking this. Analytics provider, Google ID. Maybe just don't set ID and then it won't show up. Interesting. Window data layer, push, date. Yeah, so it's the same thing. So page path though. So I don't know if that's important. And I don't even know if I have analytics set up for this ID anymore, but let's just keep it for now. So that's our layout. Maybe we should just search for a better template. Okay, so this one is too minimal. So components, layout, header, svelte. Why does it have to be svelte? It's not taking any props as far as I know, but then again, okay, so it's different kind of header. Okay, I'm looking for this one. So where does it get title? Gets from props. So where do they use layouts? I guess in pages. The contact page is using layout and passes props. Okay, so that's probably the layout we're going to have. Okay, so our layout has props, and that's not the way to look at it. We need to look at it this way. Okay, and if you just don't pass it, I guess. Components, SEO. Okay, interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, and I was wondering how did they do? Yeah, I was looking for this one. It's basically that would be like children in React. So we have proper props in the date. So let's do it this way. So we have props and as props slug. I don't know why we need slug yet, but we'll know soon, pretty soon enough. So title string, I guess slug is string, and meta description is string. Okay, so now here goes title. Okay, let's figure out how much of that we need. This is fine. Icon, we didn't do that one yet, so it's just fab icon. And yeah, okay, so not that involved. So what they do is meta description. Okay, they pass it to CEO. I wonder why it's not in the head. That's interesting. So components, CEO. It's head again. Okay, that seems sketchy. Let me try to figure out themes. So do they have like an example? Okay, they have some. So how many head tags do you guys have? So I'm looking at like head. So head number 1. It's just one head. How does it know? Okay, so it is before body. So this is strange because this SEO component. Okay, so we need to go to layouts, base layout, because this SEO component, it's called here after head, but it's setting data to head. This is very unexpected, but who cares, right? Okay, so let's go back to components, and let's figure out how they use it. So they do robots preview. I don't know what that means. I know meta description, and I know canonical URL. Okay, that's why they asked for slug. Do I really need it? I don't feel like I need it, so I'm not going to use slug. Okay, and so now if title and description is not set, I need to have some kind of like default values. So before in layout, oh yeah, they have OG image. Wanted to play with that one. Okay. What I was trying to do is that if they don't set title from props, we use site title. And I guess if they don't set up description, we should have some kind of title as well. So I don't know how it's spelled. Extra D there. Okay, so we are getting somewhere. So now it's our contact page. If we have layout, and this layout is imported from layout. String literal expected. I don't know why they expected string literal, to be honest. Will it work like that? Okay. I don't know what's I don't know what's the difference really, but okay, so let's look at the page source. So the same question, how many hats do we have? Okay. What happened with that one? This one. It's inside the body. An HTML tag is closed there. What is happening? Okay, so now if I just pass title, title plus contacts. Okay. Okay, so it's in its own place now. So this one is Yaroslav Lavin contacts, and now it's Yaroslav Lavin contacts. Okay, so we didn't do Google Analytics yet. That could be like a thing for a layout. Also, I feel like this could be like a kind of like a base layout, and we can work on different layouts. So this layout, it has like a lot of stuff in it. It even has like a state for mobile view, I guess. And all of that could be like a separate thing. So let's experiment a bit. So I think you can duplicate. Okay, you can do this. So let's call this one like base layout, and so now our layout is going to be using base layout and passing title and meta description to it, and all of that stuff is gone. We just need to slot. I guess since we have that context anyway. Okay, and I can probably export site title. Yeah. Probably props as well as base props, and so it's just like extends base props, and then I don't need that stuff. Okay. Like it so far. Not sure we will ever use it, but it's just like base layout is something that needs to deal with Google Analytics and stuff, and the layout is what needs to do with menus and all that. So yeah, the stream is complaining about something, but let's ignore it. So okay, so let's check the source again, just to make that sure that's nothing crazy happened. Okay, so okay, refactor to use layout. Okay, so now not probably going to do Google Analytics stuff, but maybe we should just like add a comment there. What's the okay, and maybe we found like a library that can do it. Let's see, maybe that's right. Title, description, cover, URLs. Yeah, it's so much, so much stuff. Okay, so this one is starter. Okay, we don't need any of that now. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff working. So now let's go through layout. So the real one, not the Google Analytics one. So okay, so this one is the document app. So all of that we kind of like fixed. Now we need response contacts. Okay, so contacts is, we also think that it's done, but we still need layout. So let's start this HTML and we'll figure out the rest later. Okay, maybe that's a good time to add tailwind though. So in Astro, you can do astro-add using script. Okay, I don't know how to use NR yet. So do you need framework? No. Do you need tailwind? Yes. I'm also actually like interested in party town, but maybe that could be like the next the next stream. pnpm tailwind, sure. Astro could not update, unable to install dependencies. Okay, so wrong. What's wrong with dependencies? Is that one dev dependency as well? How did they choose which one is? So ni minus d. Okay, so I didn't show it off completely how good it works, but it works. Oh yeah, you can also just like write what you want to add, and even if they don't have it in an example, they will go to like npm and try to find this package. Okay, so did apply any tailwind? Because we have like some classes there. Okay, it's not happened yet. Do we need to install anything else? Okay, we need to install tailwind probably. And maybe okay, so we're missing tailwind. So we need to install tailwind itself. Do we need to restart Astro just in case? Okay, it's working. So I didn't have to add a CSS file. It picked it up by itself. So maybe later I will need to like specify something, but for now it works. It's inlining CSS. I don't know what is that good. Okay, so we have some styles. That's good. And tailwind, and you're astro. Oh no, tailwind. Okay, we're not using yarn. I'm like, I'm sorry for pnpm guys. Okay, so that's good. So now we can do layout stuff. So we have all of this, and we should probably have children at some point. Yeah, so it's main children. Children. Okay, so here we need to install our I forgot how it's called, slot. Okay, we can remove here. Okay, so class names. You all know the drill. Had stuff. Let's comment it out for now. Okay, so what's happening after that? Class name. Yeah, all of that stuff is probably like requiring some kind of interactivity. That's navigation. So let's comment out navigation for now. The router. Okay, so router is explaining us, right, so this is back to block link. It should show up only for like on some kind of like specific page. So let's comment this out as well for now. Okay, so do colors match? Fonts are not matching at all, so we know that this part is wrong at least. But other than that, it turned everything into like static Astro stuff. So let's okay, so the block is probably like easiest one to, okay, it's not easy to test. So that's going to be a problem. Okay, so let's leave it commented for now. Let's figure out the we need to figure out fonts as well. So let's look at the fonts. Computer, yeah, Georgia. So where do we get this font family? Okay, it's not super helpful. I mean, I can just take Georgia and search for it. Okay, so it's inside the layout. Contacts. Okay. So a lot of places we we use Georgia. But where do we, is it like a built-in font? So why don't we use it here? I thought we had like a, oh, oops. So what happened with our font? What happened to it? Right, so that's where expected to work. Okay. Okay, I think that's the, yay. So that was just, okay, fixed font. I don't want to try to merge it into the previous one because we changed their stuff. Okay, so okay, I'm pretty happy with font. Let's look at the bottom. Yeah, so it's working great. it's looking the same, which is great. So let's figure out the layout style stuff. So this is context, but we have fonts in layout as well. It seems like we're duplicating stuff. So let's just remove from here. It changed the font. And let's just get it back here. Didn't happen. Okay, we're resetting font later on. Is it resetting it for main as well? Not really. Should we just move it? Okay. I don't really want to figure out how CSS works, so let's just leave it there for now. Okay, so we figured out this part, we figured out that part. Still have navigation that's not working and this stuff that's not working. So in terms of navigation, our problem is that it has a state. Class names and stuff. Show menu. We only have show menu, to be honest, but it is using JavaScript. Is there a way to make it not use JavaScript? How much JavaScript do we actually have there? So we have React use effect here. This one is not needed anymore. Yeah. So it's safe to remove all of that stuff. This one doesn't have a state. This one doesn't have a state. This one needs state. Scroll down, show menu. Right, so the only component that is using JavaScript is layout. Yeah. Active. And this one is just using router, so it could be solved on server side. Yeah, and that's kids how you how you get 100 kilobytes of JavaScript for like just one piece of state. So let's actually like web measure. I forgot how the website is called. Okay, this one. Let's see how much JavaScript it actually has. Okay, so what we can do here is that we can. Okay, we have two parts. We have head as well. Maybe you should try this one first. So we did icon already. We did description already. We have OG stuff and title and Twitter stuff. Does that URL even work? Okay, so So how much JavaScript? Maybe I was thinking about different website that shows like the JavaScript that you have. I mean, I can just open it here and look at the network tab and look at the JavaScript. That seems like a Google stuff. What's the versal? How do I find it? How to check next? Right. So all of that stuff. Yeah, so it's like 200 kilobytes for for effect of the menu, well, like in this line. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, can we actually like learn anything from here? Time to interact with 3 seconds. So it took 3 seconds to add one line of JavaScript. Okay. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Vulnerability. Interesting. I don't know if that's like a real thing. Tap targets on outside super problem. Okay, that seems like not such a big of problem as 3 seconds before first contentful wait. And that's like, I think, is it like a static website on the Versal app, Versal side? Why would it? Okay. Okay, that's not the tool for performance stuff that I was thinking about. So okay, so all the I think all of that stuff should go into base layout, because that's when we were trying to do about trying to think about SEO and stuff. So let's remove it here. Let's go into base layout and add it here, and this URL we'll just call it image URL, and then it's going to be I'm not impressed with formatting that is happening right now, but key does not exist on HTML props. Interesting. I'm not going to think about it, but just interesting. So new page source, OG image. Yeah, I was worried about it. It has like strange escaping stuff. Okay, so it did something, but why is it So font size 75 pixels. And images. It doesn't look too wrong. It doesn't look too right. So I hope it's okay how it is right now. Okay, so let's go back to layout. We have some Google tag stuff here. I'm not actually sure what was going to happen here, but let's investigate. It's interesting that Astro didn't complain about it. It's just my VS Code is complaining. So let's write console log here, and now that's for GitLab click. So clicked on GitLab, nothing happened. So if I name it on click, what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. So it did send that stuff. So if I still try to run it like that, I mean, it's probably like a string of console log. Such, and then it's the yep. G tag is not defined. Okay, but what about console log? Okay, it did work. So, kids, before we had React, you would write stuff like that, and surprisingly, it would work. Yeah, G tag is not defined yet. I haven't worked with like static or like server-side websites for so long, so like I forgot all of this. So it's really refreshing to look at it. Okay, we still have Google stuff missing, but I'm doing it out of order. So okay, so now let's uncomment the nav stuff, and let's figure out what's breaking first. So oh yeah, I forgot. So in layout, we only are working on this part for now, but we still have this like use effect stuff. Scroll down, all that. Yeah, so this is like menu stuff. header nav link. Okay, so let's figure out what header nav link is. It's just a link that could be active. Interesting. Is that where we should start? Okay, so let's do the following. So scroll. Okay, should be finishing for now. So for today, I mean, what part do I want to fix? But okay, so we do scroll down as false, I guess. We do show menu as false. We do progress. Yeah, progress seems to be just like a ref or something. Yeah, it's a ref. So we don't need link stuff. Okay, home. I think home is actually like a prop that we should be getting. So home is boolean. So this and this. So still complaining about class names. So what do class names do right now? They're just concatenating stuff. So it's a function that takes args. Great job, Copilot. So progress is not defined. Progress is probably better to keep it just like undefined or something. Okay, so now header nav link is the interesting one. So we want to have a component that is called header nav link astro, and that's probably going to be it for today. I'll probably just finish on this component. So here, I'll just copy it as is. Okay, so our first concern is props, but we already know how to do that. We just go to we just go to date, and our props is going to be href string. So that is just href and children. Okay, we don't need children because we have slots. Okay, so and active. So active is going to be something. So let's do it false for now, just so I can move quickly. Okay, link. We don't need link. It's Next.js stuff. So we don't need children because we have slots. Class name is active, or so it's just class. So we have two. No. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So header stuff is not defined. So we just do header link. hate default exports, but that's my problem. Okay, so syntax should be bold, and that's something that I know how to do. So if you go to Astro router, I guess there is so params is what we will use for like pages and stuff, but for yeah, I think pigeony, no. Okay, so we have astro props, we have page URL, current page number, last page size. Using okay, so let's close. Not completely it. Canonical URL. Maybe that's it. Okay, so let's think that it's just a request. So astro I mean console log astro request. So path name, I guess that's it. And I guess it's URL first, or okay, I think that's it. And now we have href, and href could be yep. So now active is equals URL path name and all of that stuff. So when you open this one, the context is bold now. Okay, so we did a lot. We should probably do this one as well, because we know how to check path now. Oh yeah, we don't, because it's okay. Maybe even this shouldn't be like a, maybe this shouldn't even be inside layout kind of like unconditionally. Maybe that should be like just another slot that other other component passes. Okay, so we still have few curly braces. I don't see like a big deal why we should fix it. Oh, this this URL is different. The official website is happening when home is happening, and home is that's oh, okay. Not sure why, but let's say that it's okay. Okay, so now it looks great. There's yeah, so the only thing that is missing is JavaScript, and because I only showing you this this page, you won't be able to see it. So we still have few red lines that we may or may not fix. So we are on the mobile view. This turns into this button, and now it's just like it's trying to toggle stuff. It's trying to toggle like this show menu, and it's used in few places. And okay, it's 12 already. Should I fix this or do the next stream? Because I said the other part was the last part that I want to try. Okay, let's start with style. Style is going to be like that. Now on click stuff. And progress stuff. I wonder if the progress is the easier one to actually change. Because what it does, it just it updates only like one property. Yeah, so I guess that could be like a good exercise. So hear me out. Astro is just it's just HTML. So if you add console log 123, that's what you're going to see. Sounds like a rhyme. So what we had in this use effect, it was only running once and was supposedly like removed once you're moving out of this layout, but that's like a global layout. it's not expected that it will move out of it actually. Okay, scroll position, progress. Okay, so it was already doing this stuff. So in good old days, before we had refs, we would just have like classes or IDs. So in this case, let's do ID, and so here we do document query selector progress, and then we do all the stuff that we did before. So set scroll down, right? So set scroll down was changing scroll down. It was changing this scroll down. Oh my god, this or is probably what is going to break everything. But anyway, so let's do just the background stuff. So what we need is to like scroll down. It is going to be like false at first, and so we update, scroll down, and we do something like update. What's even update nav, something like that, and so update nav is going to search for our where is it? This nav. So maybe just select my nav. Not great because they would have different navs. It will be a problem. But for now, our nav should have background white or background gray 100, depending if it's scroll down or not. So the way we're going to do it is that we would do something like nav class list add, I guess, and bg white, remove bg gray, and the same one but the other way around. So, and now depending if scroll, yeah, something like that. So which one is so if scroll down, then BG white. So if scroll down, BG white. Okay. So that's the idea. And cannot read properties undefined. Okay, that's interesting. So what does add return? Nothing. Okay. I was just checking if that's going to work. I wonder why TypeScript didn't complain more, but you'll live and learn. Okay. Yep. So that's changing. So now the problem is that we're probably calling this too much, and I don't really know how to test it. Not test it, but like how to fix it. That's why, kids, you don't want to do this manually. You want to have like a framework that helps you to have state and all that stuff. So scroll down, show menu. Okay, so we also have shadow. Right. So let me explain what I'm trying to say. So this update nav is going to be called like hundreds of times, even though this class doesn't have to be changed. So what you basically do is that you have to have scroll down previous, and what you do is like if scroll down previous equals scroll down, then return, and you do this. So now it only updates once it actually like has to change. So did it update twice? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Okay. And actually, we probably want to do it before so that we don't access DOM at all. Okay. And I guess that's the more right way to do it. Okay, so now it's more better. Now we don't actually want to have it scroll down here. So we want it to be BG white all the time. And we don't want to show this as well. Okay, I think we got it. It's not that much stuff. Not that much stuff is left. So now we need to implement this part. So if scroll down or show menu is changed, then we want to add shadow. We actually probably want to have this kind of like here, and maybe move this here, and like if not nav turn. So this is just to make TypeScript happy, so that it knows, yeah, returns the illegal return statement. What are we talking about? This one? No, something else. Oh, it's like top level return. That's actually a good point anyway. We should turn this stuff into what's called iffy, immediately invoked function, just to kind of like not to pollute the global namespace. Otherwise, like update nav is still like a global function that you can call from console. Okay, so now it's doing the wrong wrong background. BG gray 100. Oh yeah, because we didn't add tailwind config, VS Code doesn't provide us with helpers. Which show me, yeah. I think we are about to remove class names because we don't need them anymore here. Okay. And now now for the show menu. So we want our button to trigger like toggle. One way to do it is to add ID to it as well. So it's going to be a button that is toggle menu. So now we are doing something like nav or not button return, so that we know later on that it's defined. So then for our button, we want to have some kind of click handler. Okay, something happened. Okay. So on the similar note, we want to have a new show menu false, and our button is going to toggle show menu and call update menu. And so now our function update menu is going to do something. So it's toggling now. So let's see what's it's toggling. So it's doing something on this div, and it should be adding shadow on the nav. So that's the tricky part. How do we want to do that? I would be so happy to rewrite all of this in solid. But just like as an exercise, it's going to be great to see how little of JavaScript we're going to have. Okay. So we have this, let's say, mobile menu. Yeah, that's the problem with all of this stuff. You have to have names for all of it. I mean, with refs, it's not as hard. So mobile. Okay, and now when we're updating menu, we want to have don't we need like toggle? I don't know. Yeah, where is it? Hidden and large block. So button clicks are happening way less often. It's not like a scroll that could like trigger like hundreds. So it's not as big a requirement to do something like that. But still, force. So what force does? Force, if force is true, it adds the token. If force is false, remove the token. Okay, so I think our idea is to have. By the way, can you do two classes at the same time? Token. What's a token? Add tokens. Replace. Oh, maybe I should have used that one. Interesting. First toggle. Interesting. Okay, that's a cool way to learn CSS. Right. I think that's the idea. Yeah. So let's go back. Okay. So we also need large block. How will it do it? Nope. I was kind of expecting that. Okay. So that's all of that stuff. Now we need shadow. And for shadow, oh yeah, so I wanted to try. So I wanted to try replace. So now class list, place peachy white with peachy gray. Probably the other way around, right? Place peachy gray, peachy white. And that sounds cooler and seemed to work. I think the previous one was kind of like concerning for me that it might trigger twice. So, but this one will trigger twice. So, so I don't know if we can do it differently. I mean, you can probably do if show menu like mobile menu, add hidden and large block. So our method doesn't normalize the quotes. So I'm not happy with it. So else remove. Okay, so that one is probably the most effective one because it will probably do just one operation. Okay, so still need to figure out this part. So so each time we update menu and each time we update scroll, so it's update scroll down. We actually need to update this part, which we will call update a scroll shadow. No, nav shadow. And the idea here is going to be so we're updating that nav. We are doing toggle. Where we are doing shadow if those two things are the same or are toothy, and basically we need to update it from each of them. So update menu can trigger update shadow, and update scroll down can trigger the update. What? So how do I check it if it worked? I need to do console log this. Okay. Now, okay, we don't have tons of okay, do we see the shadow? Probably. Yeah. So I think we see it. So now so now ask yourself, do you think it's better? So show menu is false by default. So this part is going to be true by default. Okay. I wonder if there's like a chance for it to be, yeah, kind of like that. Probably need to call listener once, just so we don't get into the state. Okay. So now we didn't use class names, you didn't use show stuff, and we did everything except for that part, because I think I'm gonna move it to post. But was it worth it? Let's go to the I think we need to build it first, so build. And now do we, yeah, I was going to say, do we ignore this? Okay, so far I see CSS and JavaScript, and just one JavaScript. So it's 700 bytes of JavaScript uncompressed. Okay, so that's our function. Yep. So now if we do serve dist, and if we open that in the incognito window, go to network tab, and reload it without cache, we get one JavaScript file, 1 kilobyte, that is doing exactly what we needed to do. And there is actually like a bit of a hacky way how to do it. Remember how I said that, yeah, this function is like global? We can actually like do it global, and just instead of adding like listeners to buttons for like on click, we can have the button to have like on click in line. It's probably like a few kilobytes or a few bytes. Change a few bytes, but it is something that could be done. Okay, so yeah. So the menu is working as far as we know. So the scroll is scrolling. Oops. What happened here? Oh, I see. That's okay. Or is it? Yeah, it should be white only on scroll, I think. Let's just check on this one. So that's Next.js. Oh yeah, we don't show progress for some reason. What happened to progress? It's some kind of like special color, because I think we do this part, right? It's linear gradient color. Maybe we messed up the quotes again. Okay, this one is built already. Need the one that's not built. Okay, this one. Yep, that was quotes again. Yeah, that's it. I forgot about the progress. That's like the whole thing of, of this. Okay. This one is fine. This one is. This has some kind of console log. No, he did everything. And anyway, and that's the question. Do you want to have your whole framework loaded, like Next.js and the whole React loaded, just so you can easily where was it? Just so you don't have to calculate in which order everything is kind of like dependent. You see that it's really simple. Like I need to show shadow if this is true or this is true, but there's so much it's so easy to make everything break, because if I forget like this thing here, I will call to add shadow class too often, and I wouldn't even like notice it. But I guess so something kind of like that could happen. But something like this again, right? What if this ID has changed, or like this ID has changed, or who knows? Because we don't have refs that are kind of like type safe, and you know what is happening where, and this like manual. Okay, I wonder if this class is the same as it, blah, 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 blah. And then again, so which one was it? Yeah, LG block. So how do you know that out of those classes, these two have like this special meaning of that they have to go out if like something happened? When you're editing this, you can easily like forget that this part is kind of like dynamic part, and that's what kind of like framework gives you. It's like, okay, so and here is it like this thing that is dependent on like this condition, and that's basically like the difference between declarative and imperative style, where in one way, in like imperative way, you need to figure out what needs to happen and do exactly that. And in declarative, you're like, I need this to be true and I don't care how you do it. And that's why it's like sometimes it takes like too many resources to get it. Okay, so we're not going to deploy it, but I'm pretty sure that we can we can expect. I mean, we can try to run like a local local benchmark, lighthouse. Yeah. That's kind of like what you would expect, right? Minify JavaScript. They're still complaining that we have too much. Oh, right. That's the dev version. So we need to build it again. I'm sorry. We had 100 score in dev version. Not my dad. Uh, didn't get better than 100. Eliminate render blockers resources. Anyway, so like it couldn't even find JavaScript. It seems. Last time it only complained about the wheat. Yeah. So like, is it worth it? Like we replaced Next.js with handcrafted, like hopefully as optimized as it could ever be, vanilla JavaScript implementation. And I would say it was only easy to do that because we already had implementation that worked. We didn't have to kind of like tweak it. And now if I'm like, oh, I wonder if I should like show shadow in this condition instead of this, I had to rewrite the whole thing because otherwise it's going to be like either we'll have bugs or we'll have like unoptimized something. So yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's hard to write this stuff the first time. It's easy to write it once you know whatever's happening and what your system should look like, and then using like a framework where it's kind of like optimized for faster kind of like change time. That's when you kind of like win, instead of like saying your boss, oh, you know, to change this color of this button it will take me a week. You just say, oh yeah, I will change it, and I will deal with like performance or something like that later. Anyway, speaking of later, I wonder what it's kind of like showing this timestamp over the whole paragraph. Should be just over this thing, I think. Anyway, okay, I did like a bit more than I planned in terms of the time, but in terms of the functionality, it's, I guess it's as good as I was going to get. Yeah, so next week we will do home and blog. For blog, I'm a bit scared in terms of like how Markdown is written there and how the like all the images and code highlight stuff is going to work, but that's the fun of it. And maybe we will, if we will have time, we will replace our our super optimized vanilla JavaScript back to something like more reasonable, with solid. But we'll probably do it once I can deploy it and once I can run like a real performance testing. So we will see how much, yeah, what's the overhead of having a framework on top of this website. And maybe we can play with Party Town and like Google Analytics stuff. That seems like a week after that. But anyway, yeah. See you soon.